Lots of memories. As we get closer to moving out of here, they're starting to flood a little bit more, and I'm cleaning out my office, which I accumulated a lot of stuff over 18 years. I'm Rick Lubbers, Executive Editor of the Duluth News Tribune. I have been at the News Tribune since 2005. Spent a year as Night City Editor, and then I spent 8 years as Sports Editor, and since 2014 I have been Executive Editor.
To a lot of people, it's just a bricks and mortar building, but this is a special place with a lot of special memories.
Yeah, it is very special, and it is hard to really, wrap your head around the amount of hours and weeks, days, months, years that we have spent here working on stories and performing journalism for our community.
And they had the conveyors out here, and we just put this garage door in like 5 years ago. That's because that's where the press got knocked down, and they just came right out that way. My name is Dennis Campbell, and I've been with the newspaper here for 35 years, and right now I'm a building manager. So then they would go from there, and then they had conveyors all the way through here. I've had that position probably for about 10 years or so. Basically, this position has been a 24/7 on-call position. I've spent many nights here, because it's always kind of trying to take care of the employees, and knowing that we have snowstorms coming in and things like that. Paper had to go out. We used to have our own credit union in the building, which is that was kind of a cool thing back in the day. When I first started here in '88, it was a matter of working 10:30 at night until 7 in the morning, and it was just a variety of everything. I walked in. I think I did that for about 10 years until I went into the day shift. It's like 65,000 square foot the building is. The building actually consists of 3 buildings that it was turned into one. Basement, first floor, second floor, and then we have a partial third floor. Now this is the newest part of our building. The brick, and that was in the, must have been like 86, 87.
If these walls could talk, there's a lot of history.
Yes, I've always kind of considered the D&T, employees here to be part of a family. Other than your actual family, these are the folks that you spend the most time with in a given day or week. So it does kind of become a family, and it is a very special place. Big names that have come through here over the years, heads of state, governors, people that are running for election, mayors, you name it. They've come here and been interviewed. They've engaged in editorial board conversations.
Around the building, I get to talk to everybody basically. I'm not stuck in one place, and I got to know a lot of people in everybody's position to a certain extent of what they did. And so I think that was one thing that was really kind of keeps it going too. Up until the pandemic, this building was just hopping every single day. I've gone through 2 different presses here since I've been here. This was where the original press was, and I believe that was in the early 1900s or something. And kind of see how the press was brought in the building or removed from the building. One thing about the 3 buildings like that, there's a lot of inside parts of the building where you can see where there used to be an old window or an old door. And this was where the press room was that was removed, I believe, about 5 or 6 years ago now, and went all the way. It was a double decker, and you can kind of see the outline of where the stairwell was and an office up there that they took out the whole decking.
Where the newsroom is currently located, we're right above where that press used to be. During the day or at night when we finish up, you could feel, when the switch was flipped, and there'd be a little jolt or a little vibration, and then you could, if you listen carefully, you could hear the press is running underneath us. So you always knew when the action was taking place downstairs, and even when they would maybe shut the presses down.
And people could watch from the street, yes.
People could be on the street level, on the sidewalk at the corner where our building is here, and they could look right in and see the presses roll during the day or at night, and that was kind of fun. And there'd be times where I would even, if I was leaving work and walking by there and the presses were running, I'd stop and watch it as well. I've always been obviously a big fan of newspapers and journalism, and I've always thought that's just kind of a unique thing about what we do, and those big presses and watching the paper wind its way through and come out on the other side. So it was interesting and kind of a neat feature for people to be able to witness that if they were walking by the street at the right time. So even now it's not there anymore, I still bring people to that space and kind of reminisce a little bit about the days of when that would roll. Or even, a couple times in my career where I've had the opportunity to run down there and actually say, stop the press. That's always exciting.
Big conveyor belt that went up into here and shot out into the mailroom, and all the papers were just just constantly, as soon as the papers come out the press and they come out of that conveyor and they go into the mailroom. I still have some friends to this day that, a long time ago that, you know, that I've met 25, 30 years ago that I'm still friends with. So yeah, it's been a great roller coaster ride, tell you the truth, you know. These guys were nonstop. For the most part, everything's been great, you know. And 35 years is gone just that quick. So I would do it all over again, I think, you know, and just kind of, I really believe I probably would do it all over again.
I think that that's a much better alternative than, you know, having the wrecking ball, you know, show up here and watching it be, you know, demolished and something else raised in its place. So no, we're happy that, you know, we found, you know, a buyer that needs a space, and we've reported over the years about, you know, the school district needing space for the various things that it does and having some aging facilities. Yeah, we're excited for them, and we're looking forward to going to our new location as well.